We conquer, and we continue to grow. Watch what you hear. Radio Gone TV. Sun FM TV would like to welcome the following towns to Top Star Channel 91. Ndola, Kitwe, Luanshya, Mufulira, Kalulushi, Chingola, Chililabombwe, Kapiriamposhi, Kabwe, Lusaka, Kafue, Choma, Mazabuka, Livingston, Chipata, Chinsali, Kasama, Mansa, Solwezi, and Mongo. Feel free to interact with us and let us know where you are watching from. Only on your Top Star Decoders Channel 91, Sun FM TV. Radio Gone Rogue. Radio Gone TV.
Your finest radio station is responsible for the dawn of a new era in Zambian broadcasting. Capturing your favorite sounds on radio into great moments on television and on social media. Welcome to Zambia's first and finest visual radio, Sun FM TV.
Win namamuli 1 million na ABSA. Play your cards right, Muntu Andy, and you could win big. Simply tap or swipe any of your ABSA cards 5 times in a month, and you could be one of 10 lucky winners to take home a cheap 10-pin in monthly prizes or walk away with a grand prize of 250,000 kwacha. Chaliroku, and you cannot afford to not get lucky. Use your ABSA card to enter the draw. Terms and conditions apply. Your story matters. ABSA.
For in-depth news coverage from across Zambia, local and national news, business, politics, and sports, this is the Sun FM News, brought to you by ABSA. Your story matters.
The news.
On TV's news desk. To present the news, my name is Imelda Chikwati. The headlines. Vice President Mtalina Lumango says government is focused on strengthening bilateral partnerships with the U.S. in uplifting Zambian communities and promote regional stability. Minister of Information and Media Cornelius Mwetwa has emphasized the urgent need to revise the National Archives Act to align with the demands of the digital era. The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has made oral submissions before the Parliamentary Committee on Agriculture, Lands and Natural Resources. Chipolopolo midfielder Kelvin Mwanza has expressed his readiness to learn from senior players in Zambia's squad ahead of the 2025 African Nations Championship CHAN set to kick off on August 2nd in East Africa.
The news. 88.5 Sun FM.
Vice President Mtalina Lumango today received His Excellency Ambassador Michael Gonzalez of the United States of America during a courtesy visit to her office. The meeting was described as cordial and constructive, reflecting the long-standing spirit of cooperation and mutual respect between Zambia and the United States, as both parties exchanged views on strategic matters of shared interest, reaffirming a commitment to safeguarding the aspirations and welfare of their citizens. Mrs. Nalumango emphasized the shared values of peace, prosperity, and inclusive development that form the foundation of Zambia-U.S. relations. The discussions also focused on strengthening bilateral partnerships in areas that uplift communities and promote regional stability. The visit highlights the continued collaboration between the two nations and Zambia's commitment to international dialogue as a pathway to shared development. Minister of Information and Media Cornelius Mwetwa has emphasized the urgent need to revise the National Archives Act to align with the demands of the digital era. Mr. Mwetwa said the legislation, originally enacted in 1969 and amended in 1994, is considered outdated in the face of rapid technological advancements. He was speaking during the official opening of the 2025 Zambia Archives and Records Management Association ZAMA conference, held under the theme Archives, Records and Memory in Digital Spaces and Global Chaos. Mr. Mwetwa stated that government is actively reviewing key policies, including the Public Service Records Management Policy, to enhance digital governance and accountability. He also reaffirmed the government's commitment to fully implement the Access to Information ATI law, which he said is anchored on sound records management practices. Importantly, Mr. Mwetwa expressed a strong support for the proposed Zambia Archives and Records Management Institute bill currently undergoing interministerial review. We have a report.
Archivists and record managers from both public and private institutions have gathered under the umbrella of the Zambia Archives and Records Management Association for the 2025 conference in Livingstone. The conference, graced by Information and Media Minister Cornelius Mwetwa, focused on three critical areas: the review of the outdated laws governing records management, capacity building, and embracing technological advancements. Southern Province Permanent Secretary Namani Monze officially opened the 4-day conference on behalf of the minister.
And these tools are revolutionizing how information is created, stored, and accessed. While they offer enormous benefits, they also bring new risks, such as data breaches, misinformation, and digital obsolescence. Very difficult time to work at. So you as custodians of memory and public trust, you in the records and archives profession must be equipped to navigate this disruption. It's a disruption, isn't it?
And in a message delivered at the event, Minister Cornelius Mwetwa called for urgent regulation of the records and archives management profession, citing its critical role in preserving national memory, promoting transparency, and enhancing digital governance.
The laws governing archives and records in Zambia must evolve to reflect the current reality, isn't it? Because most of these laws and regulations were crafted during the analog era. Am I right? But now we have the digital era.
Meanwhile, the president of the Zambia Archives and Records Management Association expressed disappointment over poor career progression in the field since independence.
I'll say since independence, actually. In government, since establishment of records management, government institutions, in the public service, career progression has been so discouraging for record management professionals. Entry level to registry and record management position in government has been restored. And these chiefs, trained and passionate for their work, end up supervising people that are difficult to supervise because they lack professionalism. Now, I teach at the University of Zambia. I produce records management professionals. My colleagues teach at NIPA and Evelyn Hon. We produce records management professionals. And they are ready to work. I wonder why we are sticking to a great straw.
Archives and record management remain essential for both institutions and the country, as they serve as a memory and evidence on decisions such as those in courts and activities of national development. Augustine Kapambwe, reporting for Sun TV News in Livingstone District, Southern Province.
The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has made oral submissions before the Parliamentary Committee on Agriculture, Lands and Natural Resources. Permanent Secretary for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Patrick Mucheleka, has stated that the Lands and Deeds Registry Amendment Bill number 13 of 2025 is set to significantly transform land administration in Zambia. According to Mr. Mucheleka, the proposed legislation aims to streamline processes within the registry system and reinforce legal safeguards governing land ownership and transactions. He emphasized that improved efficiency will not only bolster transparency and accountability, but also help build public confidence in the management of land assets. The amendment bill is currently under review and is expected to contribute meaningfully to Zambia's broader goals of promoting sustainable land governance and secure property rights. The presentation focused on ongoing policy reforms, frameworks, land management strategies, and the ministry's role in promoting sustainable development across Zambia. During the session, ministry officials outlined key initiatives aimed at improving land governance, enhancing transparency, and aligning national land policy with regional and global best practices. The discussions emphasized the need for intersectoral collaboration to address challenges related to agricultural land use, natural resource conservation, and equitable access to land. The committee welcomed the submissions and engaged in constructive dialogue to explore avenues for policy refinement and implementation support. The ministry reaffirmed its commitment to partnering with the stakeholders across government and civil society to ensure that land and natural resources serve as pillars of inclusive growth and environmental sustainability. The Southern African Institute for Policy and Research, SIPA, in collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, MFIC, successfully hosted a high-level symposium focused on the impact of global geopolitical shifts, particularly those driven by the United States, and their implications for Zambia's development landscape. The symposium brought together key stakeholders from the private sector, academia, and civil society to critically assess Zambia's positioning amid global change. Speaking during the symposium, Copperbelt Province Permanent Secretary Lazarus Lawrence Mwanza commended SIPA and MFIC for fostering inclusive dialogue, stating that the Copperbelt Province, given its strategic role in mining and industry, stands at the forefront of global economic dynamics. He noted that transformations in geopolitical landscapes directly influence trade flows, investment patterns, and technological innovations, each with tangible effects on local livelihoods. Describing the symposium as timely and vital, Mr. Mwanza urged stakeholders to craft strategic responses aligned with international realities, calling for innovative policy approaches that capitalize on emerging global trends to benefit communities across Zambia. He applauded the diverse perspectives represented and highlighted the value of actionable insights generated during the forum, insights that reflect both Zambia's aspirations and the realities it faces.
As we explore how Zambia can navigate an increasingly complex and uncertain global landscape, this exchange of views today will be critical in strengthening our foresight, resilience, and unity of purpose. Let me close my remarks by emphasizing that this symposium is not an academic exercise, it is a strategic opportunity. Let us use it to build a shared understanding, chart bold yet practical paths, and reaffirm Zambia's role as a constructive and principled actor on the global stage.
Meanwhile, SAIPA Associate Director Cesar Jello paid a tribute to all stakeholders present, participants from academia and businesses for their expert insights and thought-provoking discussions. He underscored how sweeping changes in U.S. aid strategy and trade policy are creating ripple effects across the globe, particularly for nations economically tied to American support. Mr. Jello pointed to the tightening of U.S. foreign aid, with programs such as U.S. aid facing funding cuts and structural reforms. He said the shift in development assistance, once a vital pipeline for health and education services across many regions, will change the way partner countries plan and respond to domestic needs. Mr. Jello observed that the landscape of external support is evolving and local institutions must adapt quickly to absorb the impact. He cited increased protection from Washington as the U.S. raises barriers to imports to shield its local industries. Mr. Jello said exporters across Africa, particularly those supplying goods to American markets, are feeling the squeeze, forced to reassess trade strategies in light of stricter U.S. policies and shifting demand priorities. The SAIPA expert called for strategic foresight, resilience, and reimagined partnerships. Mr. Jello had since paid tribute to participants, among them CSOs, associations, academia, and ambassadors, the business community, for insightful contributions.
They have frozen aid for now, and that has a huge impact for Zambia on our health sector because of our age-old dependency on donors for health services. The other part is for people who are in the business of exporting to the US increased tariffs or duties on commodities going to that economy, with the understanding that they wanted to protect their local industries, increase value add in the US and so on. So for people who are taking commodities to the US, obviously there is a ripple effect. So these are some of the conversations that we are hoping that this symposium will bring to the fore.
The Medical for Quality Healthcare in Zambia, MQHZ, has praised government efforts to improve the availability of essential medicines and renal commodities across public health facilities, following what it describes as a marked improvement in nationwide supply levels. Speaking to Sun FM Radio and TV this morning, MQHZ Director General Dr. Quince Mabo said the organization's recent inspections of health facilities revealed significant strides in ensuring critical medicines are accessible to patients, signaling a renewed commitment by government to strengthen health care delivery. Dr. Mabu underscored the need for a robust and efficient supply chain management system, calling for increased investment in the Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ZAMSA. He emphasized the importance of leveraging digital tracking systems to improve visibility, logistics, and forecasting. Dr. Mabu also called on the government to implement anti-corruption precautions, publish procurement data, and promote open stakeholder engagement to build trust and improve oversight. He further stressed the importance of regular monitoring and evaluation mechanisms to identify supply bottlenecks and enable data-driven improvements. Dr. Mabu had since urged government and partners to build on recent gains through strategic reforms that guarantee long-term availability of essential medicines.
the reported 1,600% makeup on essential medicine is not only alarming but also morally unacceptable, compromising the very foundation of our healthcare system. To restore its credibility and effectiveness, ZAMSA must undergo a fundamental transformation, prioritizing transparency and accountability in its procurement process. This requires a robust overhaul of its systems. We demand that ZAMSA takes immediate and decisive action to rectify the damages caused by these corrupt practices. This includes ensuring that life-saving medicines are procured at a fair price and that the savings are redirected towards improving healthcare services and infrastructure.
The International Finance Corporation IFC delegation, led by Ms. Paramita Dasgupta, Manager for Country Advisory and Economics in Eastern and Southern Africa, met with Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry Chipoka Mlenga to discuss investment and partnership opportunities aimed at accelerating Zambia's economic development. The high-level engagement followed the successful hosting of the inaugural Invest Zambia International Conference 2025. During the meeting, the IFC identified priority sectors for investment and outlined the progress on initiatives that align with Zambia's strategic goals that include enhanced private-public sector dialogue, implementation of sector-specific recommendations in agriculture, mining, energy, and tourism, as well as a new project concept focused on boosting small and medium enterprises, SMEs.
There are downstream from copper. There are some opportunities that can be tapped, which can still be developed, especially in the cables and wires, high voltage cables and wires. There could be Zambia's own processing opportunities, even without the full stream of energy coming in. So that's a sector we'd like to explore. We're looking at real sector opportunities along the Lobito corridor, so especially in downstream manufacturing opportunities or agribusiness related opportunities, processing opportunities. And we're also doing a lot of work with investment promotion agencies across the region in helping build pipelines of investable projects and to develop a more credible set of projects that can be showcased to investors, that this is our value proposition, this is where our strengths are. We are aware of some of the shortcomings. The government is working on some of these, but we would like you to come and express interest and be part of this process. So a very targeted investor outreach.
In response, Mr. Mlenga presented Zambia's economic vision with ambitious production targets of 10 million tons of grain, 3 million tons of copper, and 1 million tons each of soybeans and wheat. He stressed the importance of integrating local content into mining operations and unlocking SME potential to drive job creation and sustainable growth.
In the past 3 years, should I say 4 years, our country had focused so much on the macros because of the debt restructuring, among many other things. And I must say, we are very grateful for your support as IFC. You've been amazing. The team that you gave us, Peter, Madola, you guys have really, we couldn't have achieved what we have achieved right now. Even the setting up of the private dialogue forum, the PDF, is an amazing thing. And people may not appreciate it, but it has led to what we have achieved right now. But while we've been dealing with the macros, we haven't gone down there. And this is a place where we are targeting the largest population. We've unlocked the macros, but we haven't yet unlocked somebody who's getting 3,000-4,000 kwacha a month to take home and see what is happening. So the job opportunities now for the SMEs are still locked.
The meeting highlights the government's ongoing commitment to leveraging private sector investment for national development and inclusive prosperity. The Zambia Institute of Chartered Accountants, ZICA, has called on the government to publicly release the forensic report conducted by PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC, concerning the theft of drugs and medical supplies. The institute emphasized that publication of the report would help citizens understand the circumstances that led to the United States government's suspension of health aid to Zambia. Speaking at a media briefing, ZICA President Yande Mwende stated that making the findings public would empower the Zambian public to form informed opinions on critical health matters. She further urged the government to expedite reforms and strengthen accountability and transparency mechanisms within the medical supply chain. Mrs. Mwende strongly condemned the theft and misappropriation of medicines, warning that such acts undermine the country's health system and erode public trust.
Zambia Institute of Chartered Accountants, ZICA, wishes to commend the government of the Republic of Zambia for conducting a forensic audit at ZAMSA. We trust that the findings have revealed weaknesses in the internal controls. Our appeal to government is that the PricewaterhouseCoopers forensic report should be made public. This is to ensure that we all benefit from the lessons learned as a nation to avoid matters rather that may have led to the cancellation of funding by the United States of America government. We hope that there will be urgent reforms, stronger accountability and transparency mechanisms in the country's medical supply chain.
Meanwhile, Ms. Mwende expressed concern over the 2025 annual borrowing plan, particularly the proposed domestic borrowing of $13.5 billion, and warned that such a move could have severe repercussions on the economy. She explained that if the kwacha continues to depreciate against the United States dollar, the local currency value of both the principal and interest payments on domestic debt would rise sharply. She said this may signal that the government is under significant financial pressure and that there is a lack of kwacha liquidity in the banking sector.
Kwacha, US-denominated loan, now introduces new risk and potential risk to the debt profile. As analyzed previously, any depreciation of the kwacha would inflate the local currency cost of servicing this loan, creating an unbudgeted and volatile fiscal liability. This move undermines effort to de-risk the public debt portfolio after the painful lessons that were learned from the external debt crisis.
Northern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Ms. Beauty Undi Piri has issued a firm reminder to local authorities to strictly adhere to presidential directives concerning Constituency Development Fund CDF initiatives. Speaking during an inspection tour with the Presidential Delivery Unit, PDU, Ms. Piri underscored that including key amenities such as maternity annexes, water and electricity in new schools and hospitals is a mandatory requirement not subject to negotiation. Her remarks came as the delegation toured Nsama District Hospital, where the new maternity wing and theatre are nearing completion. These facilities are expected to be officially commissioned and handed over to the local community within 2 months. Ms. Piri emphasized that all CDF projects should align with national priorities to ensure inclusive development that reflects the needs of the people. She also toured the recently commissioned mortuary at the hospital, funded through the CDF, and commended its contribution to the district's health care capacity. During her address, Ms. Piri urged local authorities to maintain transparency and accountability throughout the implementation of development projects, adding that sustained public trust and meaningful progress hinge on the ability to deliver with integrity and openness.
This is what we are telling people, that we are not joking in Yes. The doubting Thomases who said President Hakainde cannot manage to give us 36 million, they are failing to talk now.
Yeah.
But for us, I think it's a game changer. It is a game changer. What it is about CDF is that we just need to remove the political lenses and start looking at it as development for the people.
Correct.
The moment we hold on to the money because we need to play politics, we are actually stopping the very communities that need the development that is needed here. And the CS PLGO,
Yes.
the presidential directive is not negotiable. Any person who's going to bring plans for that particular area, right where it's supposed to be. That's it. For Northern Province, we are not going to accept anything that has got no presidential directive. If they feel like they cannot work with this president, the door is open. Ask what to do what the president wants us to do. That's it.
Community members expressed appreciation for the government's commitment to improving access to health services, pointing to the visible impact of CDF investments in rural areas.
Vana mayo takwali maternity twalea kumpolokoso nomba lero baakainde nabatupangira opo ili maternity yo ili apo sheto opo ili palya bwangu mocha libatupera kino omuntu achifwa kuma 01 ukwa kumutwala takwachiba babululu bakweta chikwata efe batisa bula fe chitumbino kuisabika umwa bomba bayeche chikwena ine mwandini ndeta shaka ibatwalili lyokubomba
afa twaleshimura naye nomuntu ngafa kulalosha pepala pene mule chuchutika kwamba obushiku kufika nakasuba nomba apa tule tushako lafene basta tusungira komuno bala bakutali bayisafira fine bayisasango omuntu weso ali mumochali kanshi tule totera mukwayi bonse boya ntanshi umpangire mu government.
The Oil Marketing Companies Association of Zambia, OMCAS, has called for stronger collaboration between the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Arts and the Ministry of Energy to improve the implementation of the Fuel Tanker Empowerment Program. OMCAS President Dr. Kafula Mubanga expressed concern over the program's poor rollout, citing lack of coordination and effective oversight by the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Arts. He noted that the initiative had been handed over to tanker drivers who are not traceable and operate outside structured fuel marketing systems. Dr. Mubanga said the program has failed to deliver its intended impact because it has been entrusted to unregistered individuals without a proper understanding of the fuel industry, citing that empowering people who lack basic operational structures undermines the economic benefits envisioned by the initiative.
So the people that you give must have certain requisite or experience to be able to do that. Okay? So what we're seeing is that the Ministry of Youth has not aligned itself to Ministry of Energy, properly. And these tankers, if we were to put a very plain point, is that these tankers were supposed to have had a revolving fund pool because they were supposed to be poor empowerment. What should have done is that they should have married the licensors or the OMCs, the local OMCs who are licensed OMCs.
The government says it is targeting to reach 96% mobile network connectivity by 2026 across the country. Speaking when Airtel Zambia and Professional Insurance Corporation Zambia PICZ launched the mobile insurance service, Minister of Technology and Science Felix Mutati called for campaigns on the importance of insurance. And the Pensions and Insurance Authority PIA Deputy Registrar Dr. Brian Muyengwa stated that according to survey, only 6% of adults are insured. Meanwhile, PICZ Managing Director Moses Siame said that his organization aims to insure over 1 million clients through Airtel transactions. While Airtel Country Director Andrew Chuma said that the partnership will help in reaching out to people in different parts of the country. We now take a break, return with the sports news.
Win namamuli 1 million na ABSA. Play your cards right, Muntu Andy, and you could win big. Simply tap or swipe any of your ABSA cards 5 times in a month, and you could be one of 10 lucky winners to take home a cheap 10-pin in monthly prizes or walk away with a grand prize of 250,000 kwacha. Chaliroku, and you cannot afford to not get lucky. Use your ABSA card to enter the draw. Terms and conditions apply. Your story matters. ABSA.
This is what is making sports news. Chipolopolo midfielder Kelvin Mwanza has expressed his readiness to learn from senior players in Zambia's squad ahead of the 2025 African Nations Championship CHAN, set to kick off on August 2nd in East Africa. Speaking to the FAR's media unit, Mwanza shared that preparations are progressing well and the team is eager for their opening match. He called on fans to rally behind the squad, emphasizing the importance of national support as Zambia aims to make a strong impression. Mwanza, one of the younger and less experienced players in the team, is confident of earning his place in the final squad, traveling to Kenya later this week.
The preparations are going on so well. Everyone is pushing, and we all know what is ahead of us. There is no easy game, but what matters is how we prepare here. And looking at how we've prepared, I think we are good to go. We are going to take every game as it comes. I think it's a pleasure, but yeah, we do have senior players here who've been with the main team for a while now. I think I personally am learning something from them, and I think that's what is keeping me going.
Meanwhile, midfielder Derek Mlambia downplayed the perceived difficulty of Zambia's group, which includes defending champions Morocco, DR Congo, Angola, and hosts Kenya. He expressed optimism about the team's chances, declaring their ambition to reach the final and lift the trophy.
So I think we are getting there. I think it's only about 10% remaining. Most of the things we have done, and yeah, we are ready for the week. On paper, it seems to be a tough group, but I trust my team, and we will do our best. Yeah. The target for this tournament is to reach the final and bring the cup home. Yeah. I'm very happy to be part of the CHAN team, yes, and my personal targets are to play the games at the CHAN and I think to score, yes, to score goals.
Zambia will begin their CHAN 2025 campaign on August 7 at 15 hours, facing DR Congo at Nyayo National Stadium in Nairobi. The tournament runs until August 30th and is co-hosted by Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. To end the news, the headlines once again. Vice President Mtalena Lumango says government is focused on strengthening bilateral partnerships with the U.S. in uplifting Zambian communities and promote regional stability. Minister of Information and Media Cornelius Mwetwa has emphasized the urgent need to revise the National Archives Act to align with the demands of the digital era. The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has made oral submissions before the Parliamentary Committee on Agriculture, Lands and Natural Resources. Chipolopolo midfielder Kelvin Mwanza has expressed his readiness to learn from senior players in Zambia's squad ahead of the 2025 African Nations Championship CHAN, set to kick off on August 2nd in East Africa. We end the news on that note. My name is Imelda Chukwati. Stay tuned to Sun FM Radio and TV. God bless.
88.5 Sun FM.
Win namamuli 1 million na ABSA. Play your cards right, Muntu Andy, and you could win big. Simply tap or swipe any of your ABSA cards 5 times in a month, and you could be one of 10 lucky winners to take home a cheap 10 pin in monthly prizes or walk away with a grand prize of